Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your WWE Clash of Champions 2019 preview and predictions. We have got 11 confirmed matches for this show, and we are also going to predict the King of the Ring finals, which should have been on this show, but now officially is not. It's going to be on the Raw after. So we're going to be predicting 12 total matches today, but I'm not even going to bother running down the entire card. Every single championship is on the line. You guys already know what all those are. And we have one non-title match, and that is Roman Reigns versus Erick Rowan. No disqualification. So we've got the Big Dog versus Big Red and a bunch of championship matches. John, let everyone know how you're feeling, my dude.
Brother, I'm actually pretty hyped for this show. And I'll be truthful too. Some matches I am hyped for more than others, obviously, but more so because of what's already being teased a little bit for Hell in a Cell, which we'll get to later in the commentary. But yeah, man, I mean, on paper, this card looks really good. I think it holds a lot of promise. I've got quite a bit to say about most of these matches, I think, so I think it'll be a good conversation between the two of us. And just to put a number to my hype, as I always like to do at the beginning and the end of the video, right now I'm starting at, I'd say an 8 out of 10. 8 seems like a very honest number for me, so I'm going to go 8 out of 10 for this show. Yeah. How about you, man?
I like that. You know, there are a lot of matches on this show that I'm either actively not looking forward to at all, like I would rather not have to sit through them, and there are even a few that I just am kind of apathetic towards, like, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine, but I don't care. That being said, though, there are like 4, I would say, maybe 5 matches on the show that I am thoroughly looking forward to, so I would say my hype level is probably at like a 7, maybe 7.5.
Yeah, man, I'm actually really excited to unpack this card with you because I want to talk about like what I think will happen. But what I like doing lately is talk about what I think will happen and what I would like to see happen because of the possibility I see. So yeah, let's get into this, man. I'm psyched.
All right, awesome. If we're getting right into this, then we can start with what I perceive to be the most likely match to be on the pre-show, the kickoff, whatever you want to call it. Drew Gulak defending the Cruiserweight Championship against Humberto Carrillo and Lince Dorado. I'm so angry that they added Dorado to this, not because I dislike him, but because I wanted Humberto to get his opportunity to shine in a singles match. But I'm sure he'll still get an opportunity to shine in this match. It's just, you know, the spotlight is being shared more than it originally was supposed to be.
Yeah, if I'm understanding this match correctly, so obviously Drew is playing the role of the champion, obviously defending the title. Humberto Carrillo, he beat Oni Lorcan in a number 1 contendership match, which I thought was huge for him. I know Humberto's your boy. He's growing on me, too. I think the more I see him, the more I like him. That's the kind of deal he's got going on. And Lince, I think, is in a story with Arya Daivari, where Daivari's like getting in his ear, kind of like he did with Hideo before Hideo left. You know, you could do better without Kalisto and Grand Metalik. You should strike out on your own. You're the star of Lucha House Party, blah, 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 blah. So looking at those elements, I feel like since Lindsay's already embroiled in a story that doesn't involve the championship, which is by no means a bad thing. I wish that would happen more in wrestling, you know, particularly WWE. I think he's going to eat the finish here. And then you talking about Humberto getting that one-on-one match, I do think that'll come. I don't think Humberto and Drew Gulak are done yet. I don't want them to be done yet. Especially, too, because I'll say this. Seeing as how Gable seems to be more of a fixture on the main roster again. So, like, thanks for just stopping by 205 Live for, like, 2 seconds. I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do on the brand. I'm all in on Humberto Carrillo being the next Cruiserweight champion, without question. So I do think a one-on-one program is going to be in the future for these two. And I think for that to happen, though, Lince has to be involved in the finish. So Drew Gulak to win by pinfall with Lince eating the pin, giving Humberto an out for a future one-on-one title opportunity.
Yeah. All right, man. I like that. I really want to predict Humberto to win here, but let's be real. We've got 2 faces and a heel, and 205 Live is booked by Triple H and not by Vince McMahon. So I'm guessing it's going to be the logical choice, which is the one that stands out. The one heel is probably going to beat the 2 faces. So I'm going to, I believe, agree with you and say that Gulak retains.
All right, we got match number 2, Roman Reigns versus Erick Rowan. How you feeling, bud?
This is no disqualification, man, which that tells me, and Brian isn't booked, so I'm guessing we're going to get like a surprise Brian was in on it the whole time moment, and Rowan's going to beat Roman.
Yeah, Yeah, honestly, that's what I was thinking too when I saw the no DQ stip. I know we've talked about before, like, no DQ, usually it's an easy win for the babyface because they don't necessarily, like, there's no cheating in a no DQ match, so a babyface has a greater range.
Yeah, like anything
than, say, a heel
cheaty
would.
that the heel would do, the babyface has just as much ability to do that and can see it coming then too.
Right. And it is Roman. You know what though? Like, and we've been saying it for so long, and I'm not trying to start nothing or beat a dead horse or whatever. But it is good for Roman to take a loss. And you know what? I feel like the team of Rowan and Bryan, they need a win like this because Bryan's been very giving this year.
Yeah.
And even though this isn't Bryan directly getting the win, like he associates with Rowan.
It looks good for him.
Exactly. So you know what? I think just on the principle, like I said, what I would do and what I think is going to happen. What I think is going to happen. You know what? I'll actually go with you. I think you're talking a lot of sense about the Bryan swerve, the surprise. So I'll go with Erick Rowan for the win. And there's Ella with the Big Dog versus Big Red comment. And I also think that Erick Rowan should win. And by the way, for the Cruiserweight title matchup, I would also say that I think Drew Gulak should win, only because I want Humberto to get a bigger moment. And there's no bigger moment than just beating a man 1-1. So, yeah, I'm just going to go with both. What I want to happen and what I think will happen, Erick Rowan to beat Roman Reigns here.
Yeah, that's pretty much, you pretty much nailed my my sentiments. It's just, could Roman win this? Because LOL Roman Reigns, of course, but it seems like WWE is kind of knocking him down. I honestly, and I hate to even say this out loud because I feel like I'm speaking it into existence, but I could honestly see Roman Reigns winning the 2020 Royal Rumble, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude, here's
just the
thing.
way that they have been kind of knocking him down. You know they're going to want to build him back up and have him in the title scene pretty soon, and maybe they're just being patient. I heard rumors that he was actually going to challenge for and possibly even win the WWE Championship on SmackDown's Fox debut. And if that doesn't happen, I 100% expect him to win the Royal Rumble and win it at WrestleMania.
Brother, I agree with you on both counts. I'm all in, honestly, on him winning the WWE Championship on the Fox debut. You know, even I've kind of said that too. I think multiple people have said that. If he doesn't, I mean, come on, dude. And again, not trying to star anything, but just calling it for what it is. It's Roman Reigns. If he's not an automatic favorite in every Rumble that he's not in the main event match in, like, you know, world title or whatever, like, that's just crazy. I feel like he should always be in the back of your mind to win matches like that. So I absolutely understand where you're coming from. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't even know who I want to win Royal Rumble 2020 right now. I've only really been focused on women's because, you know, Kyrie Mania. I haven't even really focused on men's, to be truthful. But, yeah, you always got to keep Roman in the back of your mind. So I agree with you, and we'll see if Roman keeps getting hit. We'll see if Erick Rowan gets that win. So.
All right. Excellent. We're 2 matches in, 2 agreements in, and we can move on to our next match. And from here on out, it is just all championship contenders, just championship match after championship match after championship match. And we're starting off with the SmackDown tag team titles. Big E and Xavier Woods defending against the Revival. And I guess I'll go first on this. I straight up fully expect Big E and Woods to win and retain because the Revival are Raw guys challenging for a SmackDown title.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed that the Revival have kind of got their mean streak back a little bit, running with Orton. I've said on Twitter, and I'll say again here, I am a fan of FTRKO. I think it's really cool. You know, I think just them running together, doing damage, all because they're bound by that one common aspiration. Like, the New Day has the gold that we all want. So let's all, you know, band together. They're 3, we're 3. Let's take them out. You know, jokes aside, because I know I laughed and I enjoyed Xavier getting his leg shattered. And I even said in the Discord, that night, which was crazy. I said, if Mysterio conceded to Andrade and Xavier got his leg shattered, this would be the best Raw ever. And I didn't even think I'd get either one of those lists, but to know that I got the Xavier one was crazy. But that was a great segment. I think it gave great emotional weight, not just to Kofi's beef with Orton, which we'll get to later, but, you know, it kind of elevated to me the SmackDown tag titles. Like, because I'll say this, I'm glad we're talking about this match first, because you look at the Raw tag title matchup, and while the SmackDown Tag Team Championship is obviously a narrative prop in one way, it's the centerpiece. For the Raw tag team titles, it's like it's meant to kind of propel the bigger feud, which is Seth and Braun for the Universal title.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, you know, it's a side piece, not centerpiece. That's what I'll say. It's a side piece, not a centerpiece.
Yeah, the SmackDown tag titles exist to be contended between tag teams and put on good tag team matches. The Raw tag titles exist to put forward a single story.
Boom, there it fucking is, right there. And so I definitely feel like the SmackDown Tag Division is more coherent.
Right.
But with that said, though, yeah, definitely, Big E and Woods to retain. Even if you want to put aside the fact that the Revival are Raw guys, because, I mean, that is true. But, I mean, WWE, I don't even know what they're going to do. I hear that things are going to get more stable as we get closer to Fox, and when they're on Fox, then we're going to really enforce a brand split, which thank fuck. I'm getting tired of this wild card shit. It's just the principle of we haven't really seen New Day strike back yet. There's got to be a comeuppance for all the shit they're eating, and I think it just really begins at Clash of Champions. So there we go.
All right, so we agree yet again. We're 3 in, 3 agreements, and we can get to our next match, which is the Raw Tag Titles. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, of course, defending against Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, or as we have lovingly known to refer to them as Rudolph.
I gotta be honest, like, it's not worth ranting about, but the existence of this match does make me a bit angry. Look, I've been watching wrestling a long time, same as you. You and I are not strangers to the idea, what? People fighting over the world title are tag team champions? Cena and Michaels did it, and for my money, I think they did it better, but that's just me. So I can forgive to a point tag titles being used as a side piece to propel the world title picture. I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but it's whatever. Again, there's precedent. But to drop it to a makeshift team, really? Because if you haven't guessed, guys, I'm fully expecting a title change here. Yeah. I am absolutely expecting a moment where there's a miscue.
Yet another agreement by the two of us, by the way.
Yeah, where like Seth and Braun have a miscue, right? Rudolph capitalizes.
See, I disagree. I don't think it's going to be like an unintentional oops miscue. I think Braun's straight up leaving his ass behind.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Braun wants Seth to get beat up so he can beat him for the Universal title.
So you almost feel like, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you almost feel like they're going to try and facilitate like a heel turn on the show so that we can have a ready-made heel for like the main event time. Because they certainly didn't turn him on TV. I don't know if
I would say heel turn. I think it's more like Braun just going into business for himself. Like, I don't necessarily see Braun as a face or a heel. Braun is just Braun. He is like this big, badass, scary dude, and whoever he sets his sights on is just whoever he sets his sights on. And if he wants to beat Seth Rollins for the Universal title, then I don't think he's above abandoning Seth and letting him get beat down by Rudolph in order to gain an advantage in their match later in the night.
I can agree with that. I think we both agree that there is going to be discord. We just have different conceptions of what that discord is. Because I was even going to say that I could see a miscue. Maybe like there's a moment where, I don't know, Braun's about to pin one of the guys and Seth pushes, or Dolph pushes Seth into Braun, that kind of thing. Rudolph capitalizes on the discord, but then Braun gives Seth a receipt with a power slam and then leaves him after the match. And then we've got heat for the main event that night.
Yeah, I mean, really, either one of those could work for sure. I think that the common thread is, though, Braun and Seth are not on the same page. Rudolph are on the same page. Even if they're brand new, they have so much in common. They're practically the same person. I mean, they even share mediocrity levels.
That You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I would only ask, and again, because it's not worth ranting about, even though, this kind of makeshift team that was thrown together out of nowhere, it does kind of irk me a bit. If you're going to put the titles on these guys, get some coherence back in your Raw Tag Division, because SmackDown, just on paper, they're kicking your ass.
Yeah.
With the teams they got. So I would like them, let's get fucking Viking Raiders up in this shit. Let them deal with
dude, and Viking Raiders are very clearly baby faces now, which, they're 100% next in line.
Yeah, they need to be the ones to beat Rudolph. Take care of your business with Gallows and Anderson, then go for those titles, and then build the division like NXT was going to do, Vince, before you fucked it all up. Build the division around Viking Raiders, because the team that beats them, if you treat them right, is going to look like $1 million. So get it done. Rudolph for the Raw Tag title win here.
All right. Well, I think we kind of agree. Here. Get Rudolph the championship so that they can be transitional champions for the Viking Raiders, because those guys need to be the fucking faces that you build your tag division around on Raw.
All right. Next
Moving
matchup.
on, we have got mid-card titles up next. We're kind of going in order. We started with the Cruiserweight title, then we did the non-title match, and the only reason that the non-title match had priority as far as like us, not talking about it first, is because the Cruiserweight title is almost always on the kickoff. And I don't expect the non-title match to be on the kickoff. So I just went like, oh, Cruiserweight title kickoff, and then I started with the main card. And the first match there was the non-title match. Then we did the 2 tag titles. Actually, we have a tag title match left. The women's tag title, Alexa and Nikki versus Fire and Desire. I forgot about this match.
I'm just going to keep this short and sweet because I do have stuff I would want to say, but it would be more appropriate for later in the commentary when we get to another matchup. I just think that Bliss and Cross retain. Fire and Desire only beat them in a non-title match on SmackDown, so they could be shoehorned into the spot because you can't call it Clash of Champions and then conveniently leave the women's tag team champions off the show, especially when one of your holders is Alexa Bliss, who we know Vince has a lot invested in. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it simple, man. Bliss and Cross retain.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So I may have almost forgotten about this match, but it wouldn't have made much of a difference because, yeah, everyone kind of agrees Alexa and Nikki are retaining. So now we can get to the mid-card titles. You know, the Intercontinental and the U.S. title. We're going to talk about those. Then we'll get the women's championships, and then we'll get to the world titles. So let's talk about Nakamura versus The Miz. I'm actually, you know, if it wasn't for the wild card rule making this thing a thing, I would be really kind of hoping for Miz to win, but I think everyone is on the, Miz is totally winning because they want him to break Jericho's record for most Intercontinental title reigns. I don't think Miz is winning. I think Nakamura is going to retain.
Yeah, honestly, bro, I've only recently seen that line of argument in favor of Miz, and I'm not vibing with it at all personally.
I don't disagree with the sentiment. Like, I think they probably do want Miz to break that record, but they've got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Miz ain't going anywhere. He works such a safe style, dude. They probably got him locked up for another 5 years at least.
Oh, I was going to say another 10 years. Like, he's not even 40 yet, dude. He's going to be going into his late 40s probably. Fucking Jericho worked the Cruiserweight style for a decade plus, and he's still going at 50.
Yeah. Miz works a much safer style than that. Yeah, he's got longevity. So, to me, because there's a lot I want to say about the mid-card situation, but I think that's more appropriate for the AJ Cedric match that we're going to do next. So what I will say for Shinsuke, because I'm going to speak more about him like retroactively after the fact, is, you know, the belt looks good on him. I guess what I will say for the time being, it's a shame that the WWE Intercontinental title and the IWGP Intercontinental title are worlds apart because Shinsuke is fucking legit, dude. Like, it's kind of like, I like Shinsuke, and I like Shinsuke as Intercontinental champion, and I love Sammy. I don't really know if I like Sammy and Nakamura together yet, but I do
kind of am in love with it, honestly.
And that's cool. That's cool, man. Again, I don't hate it. I'm just not there yet, but I do think that's going to be the bigger story.
Have you seen the matches where Sammy was on comment, like had himself mic'd up during the match?
You know, I know he did that once recently on a SmackDown. He's
done it twice, I think. He's done it at least twice, and it's fucking hilarious every time.
Right. So
his call of Kinshasa blows Corey Graves out of the water.
Yeah, I have heard that, and it's fucking great. And I do think that those two could potentially have a barn burner, because I've been hearing rumors that they might try and do a Jericho Owens type angle. I would hope that Sammy would remain the heel in that and not go back to being a babyface, because I kind of miss his babyface theme, oddly enough. I love the lyrical version of Rising Sun, but man, I was listening to the violin version a couple of days ago, and it just hits you right in the fucking feels, man. Yeah. So, you know, I guess just my thing with Shinsuke is the dude's a badass, and I guess I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I look at these two mid-card champions, and on paper, it's fucking beautiful. Like, if you just walked a guy that doesn't really know the current WWE product into a room, and he's like, holy shit, AJ and Shinsuke are mid-card champions, man. Those belts must be on top of the world. I'd have to say, kind of, but not exactly, because I love what AJ's doing. We're going to get to that next. Nakamura, though, man, see, this is why I wish when he was feuding with AJ, if he would have won the WWE title one time, man, he would just be coming off so much better to me with this run, because it's fucking Nakamura. And you and I know it, and I think a lot in our chat know it, but that's not the same Nakamura that brought the best out of Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom 9. You know, like, again, that's why I said those two Intercontinental titles are worlds apart, because that's the kind of Shinsuke I want. You know, and again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because I do have a lot to say about AJ versus Cedric next, but I'm just saying, like, I love Shin. Nothing against him. I'm actually glad he's staying with the company. I think he knows he's got a good gig. He's making good money, and you know, it's easy money when you're as talented as him. But I just wish that the Shinsuke we were seeing was similar to the AJ that we're seeing right now, like the Shinsuke Nakamura as Intercontinental Champion, because that shit would be goosebump inducing. And I'll tell you, It's a shame we didn't get the finish of the Nakamura Ali program because those matches would have been fucking fire. I like Miz. I've really grown to respect Miz immensely these last few years, but this isn't his time to do what they want to do with him with the Intercontinental title. It's funny because the Intercontinental title had its 40-year anniversary recently, and Miz was on the panel. It was him, Orton, and Christian, and they said he was only like a few days away from surpassing one of the Intercontinental champions. I think it was like Pedro Morales.
I'm confused. Why the hell was Randy Orton on that panel?
Well, because he held the Intercontinental title in his time in 2004 for like, I want to say 8 to 10 months. And he had those matches like Cactus Jack and that no.
But wasn't that like the only IC title reign he ever had?
Yeah, but he had some pretty epic matches with it though, to be fair. Because like he had matches with RVD that like I remember growing up with as a kid. Again, that match with Cactus Jack, that no holds bar match that made him, that was for the Intercontinental title. So yeah, I guess too, they just, you know, when you're a legacy and then you did what you did with the title, and then he dropped it to Edge in a great program when Edge came back. But that's neither here nor there. Point being, you know, I really want to see Shin kind of be the Shinsuke that we know in this run. I do think he's going to retain, and I'm hoping that Sami Zayn Nakamura program that I'm thinking is going to happen down the road is as fire as I think it's going to be.
Yeah, this is definitely a mechanism to turn Nakamura face, you know, down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So we both agree Nakamura is retaining. Let's get to the mid-card title match I really want to talk about if you're cool with that, man.
Yes, AJ Styles defending the U.S. title against Cedric Alexander.
I see, this is why, like, I almost wish we could have flipped it because there was so much I want to say, but thankfully I could say it now. AJ with the U.S. title, like, there was almost a time where I never would have wanted him to hold the title again with his lackluster reigns in the Kevin Owens feud, but he was a babyface then. A heel AJ Styles with a mid-card title is fucking money because he's already
almost like Cena with the U.S. title-esque.
Yes, because he's already a 2-time world champion. He's already like done the prolific matches and everything else. So when you put this title on him, it's a big fucking deal. I love the feud with Ricochet. I heard rumors that they were supposed to maybe do a ladder match, but, you know, plans change as they often do. That's fine. I think it would have been, you know, no pun intended, phenomenal. But you want to hold off on it, that's cool. This is so fucking great for Cedric. Like, I am so proud. If I could just take a second and say how fucking proud I am of the 205 Live guys and Murphy and Cedric making shit happen. Because Cedric focusing on him, since this is, you know, his time right now, this is a guy that lost a match in his Raw debut to Cesaro, was doing 24/7 segments for seemingly forever, and then out of nowhere has this beef with McIntyre where he gets an upset win, looks great even in defeat in that mini program, then gets in King of the Ring, does well there, and then most recently in the context of this feud, which by the way in King of the Ring, that's where this feud started because the OC jumped
and let's not forget that this whole thing started and the start of this feud is what caused Cedric to be eliminated in the first place because AJ and the OC attacking him weakened him so that he was able to lose to Corbin in the first place. Exactly.
And then just the image that'll stay in my mind, at least for a good bit, and it was so strong for Cedric, pinning AJ clean in the middle of the ring after a lumbar check in Madison Square Garden, and then having a beer with Stone Cold to celebrate his and his team's victory. I mean, if you're a Cedric Alexander fan, and I feel like I have been for a good bit, you know, following him a little bit from ROH all the way to here, this is so fucking cool for him. This has got a rank for him, pinning AJ in Madison Square Garden to the whole please sign Cedric chant after his CWC match with Kota Ibushi. It was just fucking huge for him. And that's the beauty when you have a guy the level of AJ Styles as a mid-card champion. That's why I'm saying I wish Nakamura was on that level, because right now the U.S. title is looking more to me what I've always wanted the Intercontinental title to be, that era that I missed as a kid when it was really legitimately a stepping stone to the world title. That's what the U.S. title is looking like. I feel like whoever beats AJ for that thing in a few years, you may be at least in the orbit of the Universal title. So I don't think Cedric's going to win here. I'm so happy for him, though, that he's in this spot. I think he's going to have a strong showing. This might even be match of the night. No kidding. Like, I just feel like AJ delivers in these moments, and Cedric's no slouch either. But the more matches AJ has like this, And especially, too, being a heel and having the backup. So whoever beats AJ is going to have to overcome AJ, who's still, even at this stage of his career, one of the best wrestlers in the world. Yep. Gallows and Anderson, heel tactics, the works. Whoever beats AJ going against all that, they are a made fucking man. And I would hope that their U.S. title reign would have some oomph and some momentum. But then when they drop it, hopefully they would be made, and they could really, flirt with the main event, even if they don't necessarily win the Universal title, to be in its orbit when I feel like it's such a revolving fucking door, because we're already back to Braun again, and I love Braun to death, but it is what it is. That would be huge for them. So AJ with the U.S. title is one of the best things in this company right now that I will keep talking about on here and keep praising, because this is what mid-card titles to me are meant to do. So AJ to retain, but it's going to be a great performance for Cedric. What do you think about this, man?
I'm excited about this match for sure. I'm very excited about this match. I agree with you that this could probably be like a match of the night contender. I'm honestly, when I think of this match, for some reason, the one spot that I just keep thinking about that just isn't leaving my head is Cedric hitting like a Michinoku driver, like a snap Michinoku driver, and getting a 3 count off of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about it. Like, it's not going to happen, but I just keep envisioning AJ going for like a phenomenal forearm. Cedric gets out of the way. Boom, Michinoku driver really quick out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. And it's not going to happen. And I agree. I also have AJ retaining here.
Yeah.
But it's still like, this is one of those matches where it's going to be very exciting to watch. And I'm going to be rooting for Cedric to win the whole time. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And even if what we're predicting to happen does happen and AJ does retain, you're on point as far as just pointing out how great this title reign has been is going to be. It's got a lot in common, I think, with Daniel Bryan's WWE title reign earlier in the year, because anybody that AJ loses to is going to be made.
Yes. Yeah, completely agree with you. 1,000%, man. This is great business. No doubt.
All right. So we agree on that. We agree on everything so far, don't we? I don't think we've had a single disagreement yet, have we?
No, I'm still waiting for it to come, though, to be honest. But we'll see.
Well, now let's get into the women's championship matches. Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. What do you think?
Oh, brother, I gotta be truthful, man. This may be where my emotions are clouding my judgment, because I'm really loving Tweener Bayley, because I won't full blown call her heel, not necessarily. Although her line of thought, like, oh, I'm trying to teach your kids about loyalty and this and that, does seem like she's trying to absolve herself, which could be seen as more heel. But I really don't see this to last very long, unfortunately. But we'll get to that later. Charlotte, though, I'll tell you my thought process. But before everything else, when I just knew that this match was going to happen, and then Bayley turned, I'm like, oh, Bayley's going to retain. By cheating means, grabbing the tights, whatever. What scared me was when you brought up, one, that, they are pushing Charlotte as a babyface, and it does seem to be working, and that Clash of Champions is being held in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. That scared the shit out of me. I'm like, fuck, are they really going to do this? So I'll tell you what, man, I'm dying on my fucking sword. I'll be the first one to admit that. I'm going to go with Bayley retaining here against all the odds.
Dude, yet another agreement. Here's the crazy thing, though.
Yeah.
We have this show is in Charlotte's hometown, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Another show, I think there's like an episode of Raw or an episode of SmackDown or something coming up that's in San Jose.
Oh, wow, okay.
So and Meltzer even said he wouldn't be surprised if both girls lose in their hometown. So Bayley beats Charlotte in North Carolina, and then Charlotte beats Bayley for the title in San Jose.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I honestly can see that. That's not really much of a stretch
I could also see the opposite being true. I could see Charlotte beating Bayley here and then dropping the title right back to her just to get that title count out, because they want Charlotte to break her daddy's record.
Yeah. I don't know, man. For right now, I have this vision for a heel Boston hug, and it doesn't involve Bayley dropping the title, at least yet, to Charlotte. I know it'll come back to her eventually. That title always comes back to Charlotte eventually. I'm not denying that. I just think we can hold off on it. We can barricade the door.
Raw is in San Jose literally this coming Monday, I think. Or maybe...
Oh, wow.
No, never mind.
What is it?
I'm trying to find it. Raw is definitely going to be, or Raw or Smack. I don't know which one it is, but it's going to be in San Jose very soon. I'm not 100% sure when. I'm trying to find the schedule. Let's see. Well, there's some California stuff, but not San Jose. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe Meltzer just doesn't know his shit.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, because I'm looking here, and the only shows that they have coming up in California, because Clash of Champions is in North Carolina, but then the next show that's even in Canada, or I'm sorry, not in California, the SmackDown on October 4th is in LA, and that's about it. Like, there's nothing else in California for what looks like the rest of the year.
Right. All right. Well, I'm going all out. I'm saying Bayley's going to beat Charlotte. It'll probably be in a way, of course, that protects Charlotte. So I really don't have a visualization in my mind of how they're going to do that. I just think Bayley's coming out of Charlotte with the gold. So yeah, let's hope Bayley retains.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I think Bayley's going to retain. This is actually, I before we went live tonight, my mom was trying to get spoilers. She was asking me who I thought was going to lose their titles tonight, and rather than actually straight up telling her a real answer, I said, "You want me to just tell you how many title changes you think I think are going to happen?" And she said, "Fine." And I said 2. I think 2 titles are going to change hands. And we already talked about the first one, the Raw Tag titles, and here comes the second one. Sasha Banks is winning the Raw Women's Championship.
Oh, thank goodness we still agree. Look, man, can I just say, actually, wait, do you want to go first? You cool with me going first on this?
You can go first. Well, I mean, I already got my prediction out, so you can go first, man. It's fine.
Because no, man, like, I gotta be truthful. Sasha winning the Raw Women's Championship, first of all, I think it's what Sasha needs, because I don't think you come back, like, after all this silence, all this speculation, everybody talking about you, all this stuff, and then you lose in your first big match back. Like, I think she needs to win. You need to keep that rocket going. But also, I got to be truthful, and I'm glad Cliff and Mark and all, like, the big, women's wrestling fans are here. I think Becky needs this, man. I'm going to tell you personally, this was when when I was kind of, like, off the grid, you and I hadn't, like, met up, done our Rocket League, all that stuff. I was watching Becky segments, and the one I wanted to go back to and rewatch was when Charlotte had retained the SmackDown Women's Championship in a rematch against Carmella, and Becky blindsided her, and she kicked her in the face. Give me a microphone! Give me a microphone! Hurry up! And she did the whole, I swear when I get my way, I'm taking my title back. You bitch. And then she did that iconic pose that I love, with her holding the title high and just everything looking fucking perfect. I miss that Becky, dude. Like, I miss that Becky. And I know characters change and evolve, and it would be weird for her to go back to, like, that really hungry, almost starving Becky Lynch when you look at all she's accomplished. But, well, I don't think she needs to go hungry, metaphorically speaking. I do think we can put her on the chase again. Me personally, and I'm sure a lot of people disagree, I think Becky is a better chaser than a champion. Now, that could also be, to be fair to Becky and to be completely charitable, she got saddled with some shit feuds to me that she did make work, with her mic work, whatever, in her Twitter game. This has been the one match in her reign that I have been looking forward to. People were talking about this shit when Sasha wasn't even, within WWE. She was on her hiatus. I think this match is going to be fucking fire. I think it's going to be great. I'm expecting everything from these two women. My expectations are high for this, and I think Becky losing will be the best thing for her long term, because if you want to maintain her momentum, if you want to maintain her fanfare, and really if you just want to maintain her brand, you want to have her chase. You can't just have them be content, win everything, and then get on the mic and then cry out they're the underdog. That's so dissonant to everybody watching. Make her chase again, and make Sasha that bad bitch we all know she is. Really have her run with that Raw Women's Championship. So
what would be really cool?
Yeah.
Is it Sasha won the title and then actually fucking retained it successfully for once? God damn.
And I would. And I'll tell you something else. Oh, wait, by the way, before I get into that, $2 super chat from Cliff. Becky has never beaten Sasha one-on-one, by the way, and that's true because the only other one-on-one match I remember them having was their takeover matchup. Exactly, and Sasha won that night.
They probably had other matches since then on the main roster.
I mean, probably, but I honestly don't remember them.
Back the year that they all three got called up at the same time, I'm guessing they had singles matches then.
But, I will say, one thing I would love to see happen, and that's why I was mum about the women's tag titles. I'd love to see Bayley retain the SmackDown title, Sasha retain the Raw women's title, and then Boss and Hug as a heel tandem reclaim those women's tag titles. Fucking do it. Make these two a fucking two-woman power trip. We talk about Austin and Triple H, right? Intercontinental title, WWF title, and tag titles. Fucking make it a two-woman power trip with these two.
Yes.
Drench these motherfuckers in gold. Because, again, like with fucking AJ, the people that beat Sasha and Bayley for those women's titles respectively, and then the team that beats them for the tag titles, all three of those entities made. Fucking made. Unless it's Charlotte, of course. She doesn't need any more making, for Christ's sake. But you get what I mean. In an ideal world, if other women were not used to being in this spot, stepped up to them and they succeeded, they would be made. You need to go all out with Boss and Hug, both of them, especially Sasha. So
I'm looking at the stats. Sasha has defeated Becky. She beat her once in a singles match before their takeover title match. Then their next televised singles match was the takeover match, so she beat her there. She beat her on an episode of Main Event in 2015. She beat her on Raw. She beat her at TLC 2015. She beat her on another Raw at the very end of the year in 2015. I'm trying to find any other singles matches between the two of them. That might actually be it. Holy shit. They've faced quite a few times, but most of them are at like house shows and stuff.
Right. And I'll say this too, and now I know this is probably where I'm going to lose some people. To me, Becky's so white hot now. If you ever chase and fall short, I don't know what fucking Ronda's status is. I'm still convinced we're getting Becky Ronda at WrestleMania. What would this be, Ashton? 36? Yeah. I don't think it needs the champion.
Last time they faced in singles. So Sasha, what was that? Like 6 matches that Sasha's beaten her in?
Yeah. That's a lot, dude.
It was the NXT TV, TakeOver Unstoppable, Main Event, Raw, TLC, Raw. So 6. Sasha's 6-0 in singles matches against Becky.
That's insane, bro. And yeah, I personally think that Ronda Becky 2, well, really it would be 1 because the Charlotte had to get involved the fucking first time. But I don't think it needs the championship. I really don't. Let Boss and Hug be that just insane obstacle.
Dude, you know what's really funny too is that I think there might be a similar thing going on with Bayley owning Sasha. Like Sasha, I don't think Sasha's ever beaten Bayley one-on-one either. Like I know we just found out that Becky's never beaten Sasha one-on-one. I don't know if Sasha's ever beaten Bayley one-on-one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I just think you've got the pieces together. You've got heel Boss and Hug. Becky's still white hot to me all this time later. And again, you maintain that by making her a chaser. The only one lagging behind, as she always does, is fucking Charlotte. But I still think
can we just replace her in the 4 Horsewomen with Ember or something?
Yeah, that'd be fucking great. But yeah, I think you've got all the pieces together to really do something special. So I am 150% going with Sasha winning the Raw Women's Championship.
Yep. All right. Well, that's another one that we agree on. So we are undeterred. We have agreed on every single thing. And Cliff correcting us, I guess Sasha did defeat Bayley at some point in 2014, but she hasn't beaten her since TakeOver Brooklyn, which was in 2015. So.
Right.
All right, man. We've got 2 matches left, our world title matches, Kofi versus Orton and Rollins versus Strowman. So I'm going to ask you straight up, who do you got winning between Kofi and Randy?
I personally have Kofi retaining. Same. I don't think this feud concludes until Hell in a Cell. Now, personally, I would love a 6-man tornado tag kind of Hell in a Cell scenario, FTRKO versus New Day, winner take all.
Yeah, and especially because we already know that the Universal title is probably going to main event that show with The Fiend going against whoever wins in the main event of this show.
Exactly.
In a Hell in a Cell match. Like, that's main eventing. So you don't need the WWE title to necessarily be defended on that show. You can have the WWE title be defended on episodes of SmackDown before and after that show, just to make sure that Kofi gets his regular defenses in. But on that show itself, I would absolutely love it if we did the full New Day versus FTRKO. And hell, if you want to put stakes on it, have it be all or nothing. Have it be the winners take all, tag titles and WWE title all on the line at once, and just have the New Day retain.
That's exactly what I would do. Now, what I think is going to happen is again, really what I said, Kofi retaining. But here's the thing about that. I do think that they're not going to go that crazy. I would love if they did, though, because I'll tell you, between Fiend challenging and then that tornado tag Hell in a Cell, just those two matches would get my hype, no lie, at like a 9 out of 10 for Hell in a Cell. Because Fiend is already driving like 95% of it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's just going to be Orton and Kofi in the cell. Now, how I predict it's going to go down, this is just me personally. I think they're going to do one of two things. One, Kofi will hit Trouble in Paradise. Ref will count. Orton will have his feet on the ropes or foot on the rope. Ref will miss it. 3 count. We run the tape back. Oh no, there was a controversy. Kofi still hasn't beaten Orton, because that's the demon that Kofi has to get off his back is, can he beat Randy in a high pressure situation? Can he prove to Randy, not only am I at your level, I'm above your level at this point because I'm the champion and you're not? Or we kind of do a similar thing to like that one Joe AJ match where, even though that was kind of a tap out / pin and the controversy, just more of like a double pin / draw type scenario. We don't know who won, so we throw it out. Kofi remains the champion. It's just going to be something to get us to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
to get those
honestly,
two in the
Mark makes a good point. Mark just said Becky Sasha should be a cell match. I was even thinking, if we're going to do Kofi versus Orton again at Hell in a Cell, I get that it's a personal thing, but I wouldn't be super shocked if they didn't even bother making that match a cell match, because they usually only have 2 Hell in a Cell matches a year. And like, if I had to choose 2, I would almost prefer Orton Kofi get the cell over Fiend versus, Rollins or Strowman, but that, like, they're advertising that now. So that's definitely getting the cell. And if I had to choose any other match to get it, I would way rather Becky Sasha get it than those 2.
Yeah. I will agree with you there, only because here's the thing, and I'm speaking as somebody that's in the same boat as anybody I may be calling out right now. Whatever you're imagining Kofi versus Orton in the cell to be like, it's probably not even going to meet a third of your expectations, knowing modern WWE. Because even I've felt crazy inspired. Like, wow, there's so much animosity here. I even pictured a spot where Kofi does like a New Day drop off the cell through the announce table to Orton. I just don't see any of that happening personally. I could even see the match being a bit more conservative than that.
I think it's somewhere in between, man. Because I was like, when you first said whatever you're imagining, I was like, oh God, it's going to be a shit fest. And then you said it's going to be like a third of your expectation. I was like, wait a minute. That's not where I thought he was going. Like, I would say, here's what I think. Randy Orton is at his best in sort of street fight situations, like no DQ. Hell in a Cell, I would say, qualifies as that. I think that's when Orton shines, because when he's allowed to kind of go crazy and kind of let loose and is kind of allowed to, kind of take things to another level and be kind of more animated and stuff, to me, that's when he is at his best. And Kofi is just a natural and would work really well off of that. So I don't think that it would be a shitty match. But if you go into it expecting a fucking boom drop off the top of the cage through a ladder or through an announce table, then yeah, your expectations are pretty too high for it. Jesus.
Yeah, it's not like Kofi's fucking Shane McMahon. But again, like, that's the thing. We see personal feuds like this and we think Hell in a Cell. It doesn't carry the same meaning that it used to. And honestly, if we're going by recent history, which I feel like WWE does anymore, they don't really do like those long form feuds. I feel like Orton Kofi is more the exception rather than the rule. Becky Sasha already feels a lot more personal than anything Orton and Kofi are doing for the most part. So yeah, I just think Kofi's going to retain, but it's going to be some controversial stuff just to get us over the hump, to get us to Hell in a Cell. So Kofi's still going to walk out your WWE champion.
Yes, agreed. All right. Now I think we can close things out. We can get to our main event, Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. I think I went first, or no, you went first for Kofi Orton. So I'll just say, I think that Rollins is retaining this as well. I think that they're going to kind of pile up as many odds against him as possible, just like they did at SummerSlam with Brock. And then he's going to find a way and he's going to win so that we can get Rollins versus the Fiend at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, man, I agree completely with you. Nothing against Braun, but I'm really starting to think that he's like the bridesmaid, never going to be the bride type situation.
Dude, I said it all those years ago, however long ago it was. I said, Braun Strowman is not the next Hulk Hogan. In Vince's eyes, he's the next Big Show. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah. But even Big Show got a world title reign every now and again. Sometimes I wonder if it's ever even going to happen for Braun.
I think if they ever decide to put him on SmackDown, he'll win the WWE title, but I don't know if he'll ever be a Universal guy.
Right. And, I think it should be a fun match. I think it'll tell. I think Rollins, when he's in those situations, we already saw with Lesnar from a narrative standpoint, he could string together a compelling match. Braun is just, he's that same template, more or less. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of struggle. It's going to be a lot of scratching and clawing. But then Rollins going to pull out the victory. But now I'm just going to geek out for 2 seconds because I am so fucking ready for Hell in a Cell, for the Fiend to challenge. Now I could say Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I would love, and especially if commentary would shut the fuck up for once during those segments, I would love Rollins retains. Maybe I'll even give Braun this. Maybe it takes 2 to 3 curb stomps to beat Braun. I could even see them doing that, by the way, with how big he is and how, dominant, whatever.
Is that that's what they did with, it took 2 to beat Brock, so they won't do more than 2 for Braun.
So I see, Rollins really giving that effort.
Did it take 3 to beat Brock?
I think it took 3 from what I remember, but I know our chat would probably have the answer.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it'll take 2 to beat Braun. That's going to be my special guess.
But yeah, Seth is exhausted. He's panting like, fuck, tag title match didn't go well. Barely got by the skin of my teeth. Lights go out. Fiend lays his ass out with that claw, baby. And he poses. And again, it would be so fucking perfect if commentary just shut the fuck up for the whole thing. And we close Clash of Champions with a close-up on that Fiend mask and those eyes, and we know Hell in a Cell is fucking on. That's what I would love for Seth Rollins to celebrate, but we don't go off the air with him. We go off the air with the Fiend. I'm almost tempted to say that's what I do think is going to happen, but you know what, though? They've really been pulling the Fiend back, which I'm not criticizing, but I don't want to.
But we also haven't seen him since the last pay-per-view.
Right. And I'm even wondering if he's like a pay-per-view exclusive thing, which if that's the case, pay-per-view ain't over till we go to black. So it is on the table. But yeah, man, I'm only hyped for this match. And then this just shows you how much I love the fucking Fiend. Again, you guys heard it on 555. And this is my favorite non-Kyrie thing going on in the fucking company and most of wrestling right now. I adore him. Will the Fiend snap someone's neck? I hope so, Paul. And it's just amazing. I'm so fucking hyped for this match. I'm so fucking hyped to see who the Fiend's victim is going to be. I just feel like Seth, he's been on this arc of going against monsters, first Brock, then Braun. I'm hoping Fiend is better than both of them. That's what I'm hoping for, but that's for Hell in a Cell preview predictions, and we're not there yet because I do have my concerns, but it's more appropriately aired out in that commentary. I just think it's going to be a great fucking match. The idea that Fiend merch is selling hot, Bray's back on top by his own fucking efforts. I could do a whole video essay on the fucking Fiend, but I know this ain't it. So I'll just say I'm psyched as hell for it. Fiend's fucking awesome. Can't wait to see Seth get that ass beat like the Bears did in the first game of the season. Suck on that, Seth. And yeah, let's hope that the Fiend is going to be our next Universal Champion. But what was that?
I said they lost by a touchdown.
Yeah, but, he still hates football, and I still love pouring salt in that wound. So, yeah, here's to hoping that Fiend is going to be the next Universal Champion. I'm fucking ready for it. My body's ready. I've let him in, and I could take that a bit further, but I won't. But let's just say, yeah, I've definitely let him in. I'm ready for Hell in a Cell. Let's just get through this Braun-Seth matchup. Let's find out who the victim's going to be. Seth Rollins to retain. I'm ready, baby. So, yeah, I'm fired up.
Yeah, we agree on Seth retaining and facing the Fiend at Hell in a Cell. I'm also very much looking forward to that. Obviously not as hype as you because this is your favorite thing going that's actually getting TV time. But I'm definitely still excited for it. I'm not gonna try and play it down and be like, oh no, I don't give a shit about this because I am excited for it. But man, you take that shit to another level.
It's so dude. I think it's
I
just.
will say
honestly,
though, I will admit, I actually found a channel, and I even showed you. I linked you to a few of their videos that does like analysis on Firefly Funhouse videos, and I watched probably like an hour and a half or so of their content, and I enjoyed it, and I learned a lot from it, and it kind of helped me catch up even a little bit on the Firefly Funhouse and what I haven't necessarily watched, because I'm not like you. I don't go to YouTube and watch Firefly Funhouse 5 or 6 times after it gets uploaded. I just kind of, you know, if I catch it on the show that it happens to air on, I'll watch it. If not, I don't even bother going back and finding it. I just kind of let it go, and I just know that everyone else is going to fill in the spaces for me, you know?
Hey man, look, I totally get that, man. I think for me, it's just like, and
I was having more fun trying to identify the puppets in the background when they were showing up on random episodes of Raw and SmackDown than I am with like trying to find like Easter eggs and shit in Funhouse.
Right. And see me, I just want all of it. You know, like
you're just a sucker for these like interactive puzzle things.
Well, yeah, it's that, and dude, like when you look at it more holistically. And I know this is like a cheesy fucking word. It's just so fucking inspiring, man. That Bray like resuscitated his own fucking career, and like everybody's been saying, like he made the Funhouse. He went, you know, and got the match made. Like
Wyndham is the key.
Yeah, like it's fucking amazing. Like what he's been able to do. He's gotten himself back in a prime spot. I swear to fuck WWE if you screw this up a second time, because it's amazing. It's amazing how he's brought himself back to life, and I want him to take it all the way. I really hope he does.
I know we're a solid 4 or 5 weeks out, but I'm just gonna let you know right now, man. I'm predicting Seth to retain at Hell in a Cell. So.
And, well, you know what, man? You invited the discussion, so I'll, because I was going to save it for Hell in a Cell preview predictions. I do have my concerns because I feel like the guy that beats Brock Lesnar clean ain't going to go down for just anybody.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be – dude, you know me. I die on every fucking ship I choose to sail on. I'm going to go with The Fiend for Hell in a Cell. We'll see it. You know what, though? It's good that we're getting, like, pre-previewing predictions, because then when we see all the television, we'll see if our minds have changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping, like, I just think they need to go all the way with it. They need to make them a force. And if you want to talk about what I think should happen,
I agree that they should, but it's man, and nobody is worse at catching lightning in a bottle and actually knowing what to do with it than Vince McMahon.
That is true.
He's really good at catching lightning in a bottle, but he just never knows what to do with it once he has it caught. He just always flubs it. Yeah,
I mean, brother, I don't even know if you saw my talking about this on Twitter, and I want to give a shout out to Sean, SHAUN, who I know is in our chat sometimes. He's not now, but we were talking about it because I know he said a similar thing. I think in our Discord, which by the way, folks, you can go to our Patreon, donate $3 and get Discord access. If you want to talk about what I think should happen, dude, I would love for the Universal title match at fucking Mania to be Fiend versus Demon Universal Championship. I think Finn should come back at the Rumble. I think we should keep him off TV. I know it said it was only going to be a 2-month break. I would keep him off just a little bit longer, have him be a surprise return at the Rumble, win it as the Demon. This way you can have that little technical nuance of, the Demon was the one who earned a title shot, not Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Get Demon versus Fiend at Mania for the Universal title. And
I'm still waiting for them to do, and I'm probably never going to do it because they're not Lucha Underground and they're not amazing writers, but I would love it if WWE would do just a slightly more complex character note with the Demon, where it's like Finn feels like this inferiority complex, where it's like he goes on this losing streak, he can't win matches to save his life, and every time he uses the Demon wins. So he starts using the Demon more and more, and it gets to the point that the Demon overtakes him slowly. And eventually it leads to a heel turn where Finn even starts acting more and more like the Demon because he's letting the Demon have more and more control. Like, that's such a compelling story, and they're never going to tell it.
And I feel like if you ever had a proper platform within WWE's universe, which I think is very grounded for the most part, like 90% realism, but characters like The Fiend are the other 10%.
Fiend, yes.
Yeah, and like
forget the Broken Universe. If you're going to do cinematic type stuff like that, like they did for the Broken Universe or for the Woken Universe, since it was WWE-ified, this is when to do it right here with The Fiend and Balor.
Dude, I just see so much potential and thereby so much fucking money with this fucking gimmick and everybody it works with. And in particular, Finn, who I think you could put him back on top too with fucking Bray. Yeah. And there's no shame to lose.
Honestly, like, I hate to even suggest that the WWE sees this much in Finn Balor, because I still think that they're probably like, they probably look at him as like an injury prone guy because of the fact that he got hurt when he was made the first ever Universal Champion. But if they viewed Finn Balor with anywhere close to the level of like prestige and credibility that they view guys like Undertaker and Roman Reigns and stuff with, the Fiend would basically be the perfect opponent for Balor to win the Universal title from. Like, they could have literally been like, well, you know, this Fiend character is great and we're going to give you a nice long run with the title, but your purpose is to be the stepping stone that gets Finn Balor back to the Universal title.
Yeah. And I'll even say,
we wouldn't complain because they're both
No. And see, that's my thing for anybody that would be hesitant, because it's like, oh, I wouldn't want the Fiend, you know, losing that sooner in that situation. It's in a big Mania match against another like mythical character in the Demon. Yep. And it's for a world title. Like, the purpose of wrestling is to not only be a great character yourself, but you're only a great character to get other people over. Yes. Like, that's kind of the deep irony of wrestling, isn't it? It's both like deeply individualistic, but also very communal when it matters. Like, I'm only so individualistic that I build up my brand, but then I'm going to use my brand to get you over the hurdle. That's what it's about. And then do you know
who beats the Demon at SummerSlam next year?
Who would you have beat the Demon at SummerSlam next year?
A newly refreshed babyface over as fuck Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. Fucking beautiful. But you gotta, I mean, even for any of this to become possibility, you need to take the first step. You need to have Fiend beat Seth Rollins in that cell, and I hope to fuck they do. Because I'll tell you something else. Not only do I share your fears, because let's again put our cards on the table. Seth beat Brock fucking clean. Like, he ain't going down for just anybody. But even if, and because see, this is what I hate about WWE. What's going to get me to rant, I can tell you right now, on Hell in a Cell live reactions. And you know I'm fucking hyped if we're already promoting like those commentaries and they're not even around the bend yet. Is if either Fiend loses, because I'm warning you right now, I will go off if that man eats a fucking pin this early. Or they do some fuck finish, like maybe Braun isn't finished with Seth because maybe there was some fuck shit at Clash of Champions and he wrecks them both like Brock did that one year to fucking Roman and Braun in the cell. And they do
Roman and Brock, right?
Well, no, because Brock was the one that wrecked shop, remember? Roman was the Universal
you said
champion.
Braun wrecked shop on Roman and Braun, so I was confused.
Oh, yeah, sorry. What I mean to say,
because I don't remember this happening at all. So.
No, I'm just saying, like, Braun wrecked shop on Fiend and Seth in the cell, just like Brock that 1 year wrecked shop on Braun and Roman.
Okay.
If they do a non-finish like that, that'll make me go off, too. Like, you need to do this straight up. You need to have Fiend win, and you need to have him go on a dominant run. And then when the Demon specifically wins the Royal Rumble, then you take that shit to Mania.
I'm telling you, man, Roman's winning the Rumble next year. It's going to be the Roman Rumble all over again.
I don't want to hate you, Roman, man, but you give it, but like have him. Here's the honest truth, dude. I am so invested in the Fiend and what he can do for Finn and for Finn's fans and the Demon and like all that shit. Give Roman the chamber. I don't give a fuck. Have him win the chamber for the SmackDown side. Go for the WWE title.
What if they give the Demon the chamber and they have him run through, like have him eliminate literally everyone?
But I mean, I guess.
Is that not a more dominant showing than winning the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I guess. I guess that could work. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that. I guess. Yeah. I guess just any way we get to Fiend versus Demon. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you do a random fucking gauntlet match on a SmackDown or a Raw to get there. I don't care. That's the road. That's the destination. Fiend, Demon, Universal title.
I always worry when you get this tunnel vision, man, because then when they don't do it, you get so down in the dumps and disappointed by it.
I know what I am. Like, I'm willing to die on this sword, man. It's too good. It is too good TV to pass up, and I'm not saying it.
That's like when I was ready to die on the Sasha has to challenge Asuka for the women's championship at WrestleMania and beat her by turning heel train, and then fucking Asuka lost to Charlotte clean. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, man. I hear you. And truth be told, in this moment, so we can all catch me soberly saying this, you're probably right. I'm probably going to get shit on, beat up, everything else again. But when it's just that good, I'd rather soar too close to the sun than keep my feet rooted in the earth. Fuck it, because it ain't me that's wrong. It's the fucking company that's wrong. And I know that sounds arrogant as hell out of context, but you can't tell me that you hear all that
even
shit.
with context, to be fair.
Even with context. Okay, even with but I'll own it. Please, dude, I'm allowed to be arrogant if this old fuck can do the things that he's done for decades.
Yeah, totally.
And have his fucking dick out. Because you can't tell me that you have a program like that with people that really have never gotten the chance to shine. And it's good. And it has substance and everything else. And you're like, nah, fam, let's do Roman versus Seth. Which, by the way, if Seth retains, I'm telling you right now, that's the match that's fucking happening in WrestleMania 36. Roman versus Seth for the Universal title.
Oh, so you think they're going to have Roman jump ship and not be on SmackDown then?
Yeah, I think if they do it, because I think they look at that match, Roman and Seth, I'll give the devil their due. They have good chemistry. I enjoy their matches, and I think they would want to see that match play out in front of a Mania crowd. That's my belief. So that's kind of me throwing my chips down. If you're right about everything you're saying, the only tweak I would make is Roman and Seth are meeting for that Universal title. Not a doubt in my mind. So yeah, man, we went hard on this.
We're not even done either. We still have to predict the King of the Ring finals.
I wish we would have done that before the main event, because I was feeling so good after that conversation, even with the low points, and now we got to talk about this fucking shit.
Corbin or Gable, baby. Corbin or Gable.
Gable needs to win for my personal dignity, because
dude, I gotta say, I honestly, the way that they've set it up, like if Corbin wins, what next? Like, what does he even have? Like, we already know he's not going to be Seth's challenger at Hell in a Cell because that's the Fiend. So, and we're pretty confident that he's not going to go after Kofi. And AJ is a heel. So, and we already said that we think that AJ is retaining. So, and Nakamura is a heel. So what the hell? Like, what would Baron even have to do? That right there is why I'm picking Gable to win.
I hope you're right. Because
I
again,
hope Chiefin's right, because he was the one that was ahead of this, ahead of everyone on this. He's been saying that Gable was going to win King of the Ring since we did fucking preview predictions for the thing.
Yeah. So Chiefin, if you go back to hear this, brother, pouring this one out for you, man, because goddamn, you talk about my tunnel vision, that motherfucker had 20/20 vision seeing this shit.
Yeah.
I will say, again, I want you all to bear in mind the real victim in this whole situation, me. Because I called Baron out on Twitter. I told him that the only thing that recedes faster than his hairline did are the ratings when he's on screen. You can't be a king if you have no subjects. Now, I thought that was a Class S burn. You know, I thought I fucking scorched him. But now, if Baron wins the fucking tournament, well, then the burn was self-inflicted because I made myself look like a fucking dumbass. So Gable needs to win this for my own personal dignity, which is...
Dude, have you ever rooted for somebody that wasn't number one on your Fave 5 harder than you're going to be rooting for Gable to win on Monday?
No, and you know what makes it even easier, though, is I know you and I genuinely like Chad, but I told you when we were talking about it on Facebook, like, this push feels so out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because you already know my mindset. I thought he was going to run 205 Live, and he was going to be the one to beat Gulak.
Yeah.
Well, now the main roster suddenly got away from him. And again, like I told you, and I think I told you this during Rocket League, and I just want to repeat it here because any quotable lines I always try and say for the commentary. I wonder if Gable's getting this push because he is a genuine Olympian. SmackDown is going to Fox, and they want to feel more like a sports show. So if you give a guy like Gable this big push, it's like, yeah, genuine athletes get the goods, and Gable is a fierce fucking athlete. Yeah. So, like, even that logic, I have to go with Gable winning. But I will say, because I feel like I have a lot of rage that is potentially inside of me, if Corbin fucking wins this shit. See.
And that's the thing too, is that here I am talking about, if he wins, he's not going to have any titles to go after. Who fucking cares? WWE could give him the title and just have him brag every week like they used to do with him when he was the fucking interim GM or the constable or whatever the hell it was.
We're about to go another hour because here's what angers me about Corbin winning.
I love how you go, we're about to go another hour. Here's what angers me. That's a perfect setup.
Yeah, here's what angers me about Corbin winning, aside from his face, is because it's not even, if you can believe this, and I just want you all to like take me on good faith for 2 seconds. It's not even just Baron specifically that would evoke my anger. I would have this deep fucking fear that WWE would retcon their own storylines. Because don't act like we fucking forgot, okay? Because I know I didn't. Extreme Rules, Becky and Seth said, you guys lose, you're done. You go to the back of the line. You don't get any title shots again. Like, this is it. Corbin wins this shit, man. If he's eyeing that Universal title against the man that handed him his ass
that's not where I thought you were going with it.
Multiple fucking times, well, here's where I am going with it. Because that would even feed further into what you've already put out. Fiend may lose a fucking Hell in a Cell. Because I'm telling you, if Fiend wins that title, he's not dropping it at least until Mania.
There isn't going to be a Universal title defense at the following pay-per-view because the next pay-per-view is Survivor Series, and there you just get champion versus champion every time.
Right. True. So
the next Universal title defense after Hell in a Cell is going to be at TLC, which is 2 months away after that. I don't think
I worry, man.
Wait that long to have somebody that won King of the Ring get their benefit from winning King of the Ring.
Right. I fucking worry, man. I worry, man, about like the ripple effect that Corbin winning King of the Ring would cause.
What I was about to say is he's going to go after that women's title. Yeah.
Yeah. Really, if you wanted to like make Corbin at least semi-entertaining, have him be so narcissistic, have him create his own fucking title. I don't give a fuck.
Have him be King of the Ring and defend that title against other people and have him lose it to Chad Gable or Andrade or someone else that we actually don't hate.
But you know what would be cool, though, about Chad winning if you really wanted to go that fucking route? Now, look, I'm not saying I want Kofi to lose the title to Orton, but Mark already put it out into the universe in chat that he's got a bad feeling Orton might win. Can you imagine on just one random pay-per-view? Because I want WWE to take chances on people. I'm not saying Gable would work. Maybe he wouldn't, but I want to see if the kid can fucking fly because God knows he can go in the ring and he's got charisma to him. We've said that for a long time. Yeah. Just imagine on a one-off pay-per-view, King of the Ring winner Chad Gable versus Randy Orton for the WWE title.
No.
I'd be invested in that.
King of the Ring winner Chad Gable versus Shinsuke fucking Nakamura.
So, okay, that's fair because I think you're kind of tempering your expectations a little bit, and you want more of a clinic because you know.
Well, and because I also like, I just love this idea of Gable hitting that chaos theory on a lanky motherfucker. Like I don't know. I want to see him do a chaos theory to Corbin. Because, like, just the aesthetic of him getting this long, lanky son of a bitch up for this crazy rolling German suplex. And then I envision him doing it to Nakamura, too. And that kind of gets my grits off as well.
Yeah, get your grits off. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I seriously, the only reason I go straight to the WWE title is it's such a fucking underdog story. And Orton is such a dick. And, like... Just to come out and be like,
you're also envisioning a world where Orton beats Kofi for the title, and that's like, I mean, is it possible? Of course, but you're picking against your own pick.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, long term, if this were to happen fantasy wise, because I don't even know if I'm committed to Gable winning. That's the thing. I'm just weighing my fucking options. That's why I really.
So basically, what we're looking at here is either Corbin wins and just brags about it every week and becomes like another version of annoying of himself and basically makes the King of the Ring tournament completely worthless because the entire thing was just a setup to make Corbin more of a heel, which he already didn't fucking need. Or Gable wins and they use that as a way to kind of launch him into some kind of championship contention. I don't know, man. I don't necessarily ever really buy into the WWE making the best or optimal decision, but this just seems so night and day that it would almost be too like comically WWE of a move to have Corbin win, which kind of tells me that Gable probably actually will.
The only other concern I have, man, since again, I wish we would have talked about this before because now I'm just angry and down, but like, it being on a Raw scares me too, because I feel like if this did make Clash of Champions, it'd be a great pay-per-view moment for a babyface, in Chad to win. But it being on a fucking Raw, dude, I'm gonna go with Corbin. Like, it sucks. I hate everything. I hate that you're reveling in my misery right now. It sucks. It sucks. I
Believe it or
think
not, it's not me laughing at your misery. It's me laughing because it's just such a WWE thing, and I can't even argue with you. I can't even be like, no, John, here's why you're wrong, because it's just so them.
And you know, just to highlight Javaris's message, I just want to reiterate again, I don't give a fuck who has a problem with it, because some people are like, oh, just watch the show. The match hasn't even ended. We fucking knew. We fucking knew. Ali and Andrade, the moment Ali lost, that was the wrong fucking move. And then the moment that happened, we knew Andrade was screwed. This is Andrade's tournament. You fucked him over for a guy that's a legitimate. Because Ashton proved it to me. He was saying it even while I was still on the Corbin train. I can't argue with facts. A legitimate anti-fucking draw. You chose him over Andrade again. Again. This was his fucking tournament. I love Chad. If he wins, I will be so fucking happy for him, and I'll be so fucking relieved for all of us if Chad wins. But Ricochet Andrade should have been the final, and I'm so disappointed it wasn't. I'm fucking dejected that it wasn't, because that was a match of the year contender, and you fucking blew it. You fucking blew it. You had it right there. Ray Andrade, everything after he beat Ray 2 straight falls. Do you need to wear water wings when making up these fucking storylines? Because I know it all comes down to you. You fucking need water wings for this shit? The fuck is wrong with you? This was Andrade's fucking tournament. And I think that, dude, is what pisses me off the most. I'm not anti-Chad. I love Chad. I know you do too. I think most of our Chad does. But let's not be lying out here. This push was out of nowhere. When is Andrade's time going to fucking come? I would have even been cool with Ali because he's been doing the cool fucking promos, you know, standing up for people that look like him and all that shit. But if King of the Ring is a heel device, which is why I'm shitting my pants that Corbin's going to fucking win, you seriously are going to pick Corbin, who's already been tested and failed? He failed. You put him in this big fucking spot and he choked and he failed. But let's not go with Andrade. That's so fucking insulting. So you know what? Fuck this tournament. You killed my enjoyment of it, and you just shot it dead in the fucking water. I wanted Andrade Ricochet as the final, and yeah, it's an egoistic thing because that's what my bracket looked like. So way to murder my fucking bracket. You massacred my fucking boy.
They massacred my bracket in the first fucking match when Joe beat Drew. I had Drew win the whole thing.
Yeah. Corbin's gonna win. Corbin's going to fucking win, and I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs wondering when the Andrade push is coming. Turns out, though, it's 5 years past never going to happen.
Yeah, apparently. I was going to say, don't you love how he's been with Charlotte for however long now? And now, like, how much do you want to bet? How much do you want to fucking bet? I love this, too. How much do you want to bet that they were planning on Andrade being the King of the Ring? And then Ric Flair decided to file a fucking copyright for the man and fuck them over, and now they're fucking Charlotte and her man over.
Oh. Rick, if this shit is on you, if blood is on your hand, no, John, no. Remember what your therapist tells you? You choose how you react to people, and I just want to react very angrily right now. Very angrily. Dude, if that is even 5% true, that whole thing can just fuck right off. Yeah. This is so unfair to Andrade. Like, and again, it's not even like, yeah, I can make fun of Baron, this and that. Truth is, if you put this guy in a mid-card spot, I'd legitimately probably like the dude. He's got like a funny quality to him promo-wise, and he's solid enough in the ring. But you tried him out in the main event scene, it didn't work. That's all I'm saying is it didn't work. So why are we doing this? Like why is this even happening? And you know what the thing is? I'm
all for second chances, but why does nobody else get a second chance? But now fucking Baron Corbin will.
Yeah.
Like how about giving Andrade and Ali and Gable and Murphy and Ricochet and McIntyre? Why don't they all get shots at the main event before you cycle back around to maybe Corbin gets a second chance?
Thank you. And you know what? I don't want to get redundant or beat. I mean, God, I beat the whole fucking farm. Fuck the horse. The whole farm got massacred. So I'm just gonna say Corbin wins. It pisses me off. And Fiend really is. Fiend and Kyrie. And Kyrie ain't even looking too good either. Like Kyrie Mania, I will readily admit, right now is a fucking pipe dream. The most Kyrie Mania will be her winning the Women's Battle Royal this year, which we all know how that changes careers. But Fiend is my last fucking hope,
Who even won it this year?
Carmella.
Last eliminating
Sarah Logan. Yeah.
Good God. Has Carmella even been on TV in the last month? Actually, let me rephrase that question. Has Carmella been on TV in the last 4 months in anything that wasn't pertaining to something R-Truth was doing?
I think maybe a few random matches, but ultimately, yeah, it's been 24/7 title as far as programs, and that's it.
Yeah.
So not to get anybody worried about me, but I will say, like, right now, Fiend's looking like my last fucking hope here. I want him to win that Universal title. If he can't manage to do that, man, like,
I'll be rooting for him with you, man. I don't necessarily think I'm going to pick him to win. I already told you that I expect Seth to win looking at it from this far out, but maybe by the time we do our Hell in a Cell preview predictions, my mind will have changed. We'll see.
I will say, though, guys, on more of a cautionary note, this is why if you're a passionate wrestling fan like Ash and I are, and I know many of you are, you never emotionally invest entirely in one company. So I want to extend my thanks both to New Japan and to Stardom, because, like, that is going to be my safe zone, my comfortable space. If WWE just blows everything to Kingdom Come between Fiend not becoming Universal Champion, Kyrie just sliding further and further down the card, Andrade already got robbed of his destiny, so thanks everybody else, and Baron becoming King of the Ring. If like all those things come to pass, it's going to be rough. Although I will say WWE at least still has Sasha and Bayley running shit, so that's keeping me up. But yeah, New Japan and Stardom are killing it right now, and thank goodness for them, because if WWE were a person, there are days I know that I could just be serving 25 to life right now. So I'm going to end on that note. Ashton, is there anything else you want to say, brother?
You know what? I think we covered all of our bases quite thoroughly.
I would say so as well. This commentary went a lot longer than I even anticipated it going, but I enjoyed every minute of it. So thank you guys so much. Leave a like if you haven't on the video. We'd greatly appreciate it. Click the bell icon for notifications. Subscribe. You know the deal.
I got the outro, man. You just
I know. So Sunday, pretty much how it's going. We'll probably react to a kickoff match or so. We'll see how that card shakes out.
Don't you love how the WWE waits until the literal day of to tell you, and they don't even tell you. They show you what the kickoff matches are by just waiting until the pre-show starts and then be like, hey, this is on the kickoff now.
Yeah, so what I am going to say then, guys, for Sunday, if you're into our kickoff content, we'll tweet it out. I'll try and do my best with mass tagging. But if you're there, though, for the main show and you want to just be with us for the main show, that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern time, so you're going to want to be there at that time for that. Saturday, we got nothing, so enjoy the day off. Everybody get your minds right, get hyped for Clash of Champions. And, yeah, we'll see you Sunday for that. Again, if you're here for kickoff, we'll be sure to tweet it out, rope you in. If it's just main show, it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time. So with that said, I'm going to hand it over to Ashton and take us home.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen. We hope that you all enjoyed our preview predictions. Be sure to like this video if you did. I'm not on the actual videos page, but from my little dashboard here, it looks like we only have 1 like. What are y'all slacking for? Come on now. Like the video. Help us out a little bit. Seriously. The likes help us with visibility. Whenever someone searches Clash of Champions preview predictions, the more likes we have, the more likely they are to find and then click on our video and check us out. And then, hell, maybe we can get some more people up in here in the community, maybe join the Discord, Patreon, all that fun stuff. The more people, the better, right? So we would definitely appreciate it if y'all would like the video, help us out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Click the bell icon to join the notification squad. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think is going to happen on this show. Post your preview predictions down in the comments section. You can also follow us both on Twitter and on Twitch. Like our Facebook page, buy our merch on Teespring, donate to our Patreon. Share this channel and this video, again, helping us with visibility. Share this channel, share this video with all your wrestling fan friends, and just let them in on the secret that is TwitWow. Let them in, man. Let them know. Fill them in. Share it. Let everyone scream from the top of your lungs. Let everyone know about TwitWow. And, of course, we've got some really cool upcoming content. Like John said, we will be live reacting to Clash on Sunday. Nothing planned, I don't think, for Monday. But then on Tuesday, we're probably going to end up live reacting to some Stardom stuff. I'm not 100% sure on that. But then Wednesday is going to be the first ever episode of NXT live on USA Network. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then Thursday is going to be Stardom 150% for certain. because whether we are able to watch Stardom on Tuesday or not, because that's dependent on whether they get full shows uploaded by Tuesday. But whether that happens or not, we're definitely going to do it on Thursday. And then Friday is going to be a partial, which means we're only going to be covering Raw and SmackDown, WWE catch-up commentary. So that's what we've got planned for the next week. We hope that you guys are looking forward to it. We hope that you enjoyed this. And of course, we hope that you remember to stay tuned.